Good evening, welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you are doing well wherever watching me around the world. Please subscribe, share, and like this video. So today I want to talk about the farming. So if you are a farmer, this is a very exciting period or also nerve-wracking. That is the planting season. Now in Kenya we are in the planting season because the rains are about to come. Our rains are on the way. The rains for October. This is the short rains, October, November. Then people plant so that they can maybe harvest in early next year, maybe February there. So this is maize I'm talking about. So maize, takes around 4 months to get ready. So in a year, someone can plant. Let's say they plant in January or February, then 4 months, February, March, April, May, June, or July, 4 to 6 months, yeah, something like that. So at least they can do, if I'm not wrong, it was we planted in February, so it was March, April, May, June, July, August, around, if I'm not wrong, around 6 months, yeah, 6 months, yeah, at least twice a year, yeah, because we planted in February. Now this is nearly August, or this October is, at least you can do it twice a year. You can plant your maize and you get, it's called what? You get your harvest and all that. That's why I'm talking about modern farming methods. Modern farming methods in Africa. Modern farming methods in Africa. So, yeah, modern farming methods in Africa. So now you see, find that here in Africa, people use these hand hoes to dig. Here we call them jembes, the hand hoes. They're called jembes that people use to dig. And then, because most of the farms here that people use for farming are just the average acreage for a family here in Kenya, the land is 2 acres. The average land size is 2 acres here in Kenya. Our grandfather, the average land used to be like 20 acres. Our grandfathers, the average land for one person used to be in the hundreds of acres, like they have in Masai land here, Ukambani. But now because of population growth, rapid population growth, good health care and all that, high life expectancy, the land is shrinking. So you go to a country, in most areas, the average land size is 2 acres. So that is just good for subsistence. But there are people who do, it's called what? Commercial farming on big lands. On big land sizes, commercial farming. Like someone can have an average of 10,000 acres, 1,000 acres. Like our leaders here in Kenya, the president has over nearly a farm, nearly 10,000 acres. The vice president here has a farm of 2,000 acres, on and on. These people that I'm saying have very big lands, the leaders. How they got the land is a story for another day. So that's why I'm talking about modern farming methods in Africa. People are using very old school ways of farming, those hand hoes, fork jembes. They use, because the farms are small, they just grow maize, vegetables. So when they do the harvesting, they just for family use. But now the story is this. In our neighboring counties of Ukambani and Masai land, we have thousands of acres of idle land because of low rainfall and also the culture. Most people, like in Masai land, people keep cattle. That's what they like. They move, they're pastoralists. They move around with their cattle in their big, enormous land, thousands of acres. You find one person has hundreds of acres, but he just has cattle that he moves around with. And when it's very dry, famine, they die, all of them. So it's just a hard life. So I did some research on a country known as Israel in the Middle East, a very tiny country. Population is very, I don't know, I was reading, population nearly 10 million compared to African countries which have more than 40 million plus. So this is what Israel does. I like doing research. So Israel doesn't have rainfall. Only I think the rainfall comes once a year. So they do wastewater recycling. So all the water they use in their homes, whether for sewage, whether for drainage, domestic use, is collected and then recycled. They, they did a proper recycling so that this water is used again. So they don't waste water. They do drip irrigation, you know that one, sprinkler systems, wheat, sorghum, and then they also grow wheat. They also grow sorghum. They grow corn. They grow fruits and vegetables, just to name the following: citrus fruits, avocados, kiwi fruit, I don't know what's that, guavas, mangoes, and grapes. Grapes, yeah. Now, me, these grapes is what I like, even underlined. Grapes is used in the production of wine, which is $1 billion industry in the whole world. So it earns a lot of money for this country. So I'm sure it exports grapes, Israel. It also exports corn and also wheat. So wheat is a big thing. Remember the issue of the war in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine is among the largest, in fact, the largest exporter of wheat. It exports wheat to Africa. Yet we have the land, we have the resources, the human resources to grow this wheat, but we can't think because we are relying on rainfall only. So if, let's say, I was the minister of the cabinet secretary for agriculture in this country, I'll focus on is what called what rainwater harvesting. So it rains, it's going to flood. Soon it's going to flood, and it's going to carry people. Here in Kenya, when it floods, because of the poor drainage system, it floods, it carries people, it carries everything. So what can we do? The drainage system in Nairobi is not drainage system. Those are just someone called them. Those are how can you call it? Squirrel holes. There are holes for the squirrel. There's no drainage in Nairobi city. We need a proper drainage system that underground is like the size of this room of mine, where water is moving and people walk up there. And it's well covered that people cannot hide their criminals. Because it's well covered, you cannot, and it's patrolled. So if they find a hole somewhere, you get arrested. Then they do for the SGR. So now, once you have proper drainage system that can be done by our engineers or even foreign engineers, the integrator is integrated the whole of Nairobi. The water is collected, drainage water, cleaned, domestic use, so that our mothers, our sisters, our daughters don't go walking around with jerry cans looking for drinking water. Yet you can still drill that water for home use. So this water is used for domestic use. Everyone has access to clean water for drinking and domestic use. The rest, surplus, that has been collected through rain harvesting, through the drainage system, and also in those counties, neighboring counties, Ukambani Land, Masai Land, water is pumped from Nairobi, plus the water that's collected in those areas through serious places, serious technology. It's used for now this irrigation and farming the whole year. So all these crops have named you can grow. Apart from our staple food of maize, which we use for eating here in Kenya, we can have things like wheat, sorghum, corn, fruits and vegetables. That's normal, you know them, the normal ones. We have grapes also, you can enter into that industry, cotton, added to other things like, it's called what? Added to things like leather processing, where we say leather processing. Yes, from cattle, where you have the byproducts from cattle, from cows, from cattle. You have the leather processing to make things like bags, shoes, belts, and many other things. House of fashion. So that's what I'm saying. Modern farming methods in Africa. The issue here is water. And the reason I'm passionate about these things is that when I've participated in farming, that's why I want to, if you're a young Gen Z watching me, you should engage in farming, whether country or here in Nairobi. You'll enjoy the excitement. Like now I'm nervous because I don't know, we planted some maize and the rain has been missing for 1 week. And if it passes a week, that maize that we planted, the maize seeds for planting, becomes useless. So I'm just praying that tomorrow, before the end of the day, by Tuesday, it's going to rain serious. I'm sure it will rain. So that's my prayer. So that's what I'm saying. Modern farming methods. We need water through rainwater harvesting, water recycling, boreholes. But this is the problem with boreholes. When it's dug and it's used even for 2 years, it dries up. So you'd rather harvest the rainwater through drainage in Nairobi and other major cities, Eldoret, Kisumu, Mombasa. Then that water goes into neighboring counties. It's pumped. They will pump oil. We have oil irrigation where people can do what? Can farm, and then they do value addition industries, and then you bring these other things, transport sector, commercial, it's called train, commuter trains, buses, good roads, highways, so integrate them into the things, just not agriculture, modern farming methods. It's other things like the infrastructure. You need good rail system, you need roads, you need so many things that you need in this, it's called what? In this industry, in this sector of agriculture. That's what I'm saying, modern farming methods. It's also, we need to mechanize our agriculture so that those lands that are reclaimed through irrigation and rainwater harvesting, now you have tractors, big ones, for farming, for digging, for planting, for harvesting. Create jobs for these young Gen Zs. So that's what I'm saying. Kenya, Africa, God just, where God is just wonder. These people, I've given them land, I've given them water. Every time it rains, it floods. I've given them the best weather. You see, like in Europe, the reason they are so innovative is because they have very bad weather. When it's winter here, nothing happens. The roads are blocked by snow, foods. So you have to put your food in the fridge. You cannot go to the supermarket. So this has made these people use their brains. But here in Africa, we are still in the Garden of Eden. It's called what? Fruits just fall down. But these fruits are not falling because you cannot even plant them. Because when there's no rainwater, reliable rainwater, then famine comes in. So soon enough we'll be begging foods outside if we are not begging, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Modern farming methods in Africa, we need to look at our agriculture. It's too archaic, it's too ancient. We cannot be using hand tools. We need mechanized on large scale farming so that the small farmer just has also access to cheap food. Because if you're farming on an 8, once you are harvested, within 2 weeks that food is gone. It cannot help you. Maybe you just need a minimum of 10 acres to do farming that makes sense, subsistence. Commercial farming, thousands of acres. That one has its owners, the people who are our former colonizers, their relatives own tens of thousands of acres. That one we understand. That's what I'm saying, modern farming methods for Kenya, create jobs, and to ensure that we are food secure. Food security, yes. So these are things like young Gen Zs I was exposed to when I finished school. I worked for an NGO that dealt with the rainwater harvesting. It was more of literature. All these things I'm talking about, they wrote then how to harvest rainwater, how to recycle water, and many other things. That's what I'm saying, modern farming methods. So I want to pray for you who's watching me and to have a long life, that you become rich and prosperous, not only you, but children and grandchildren and all your generations. And also that all your dreams become reality, that you get a job reality, you buy your first piece of land reality, you buy a car, you get a partner, you get children, you fly out of Kenya, you get a scholarship, you get business partners, build that big flat complex, isn't it? You expand whatever you have built, you come up with projects, isn't it? Also pray for myself to get a big money so that I can build the biggest technological university in Africa, train future entrepreneurs, provide jobs to the young Gen Zs, and develop a product that can be used in Africa and worldwide. And me big money, and also earn the Kenyan government big money. That's my prayer. Amen. So I want to pray that to send something on my channel there. Mobile M-Pesa plus 254 769 729 327. I repeat again. Mobile M-Pesa plus 254 769 729 327. And as I always say, Gwaheri ya kuonana, Gwaheri.